Jessica Trailov storms off set after Gutfeld gives her brutal. Brutal what?
Hawk Tua. Speaking of Kamala, Hawk Tua. Harris.
Hawk Tua. Jeez. She's like soaking up everything. Like all that. Oh, before that though. I mean, yeah, that leads into it. What's up, everybody?
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Yeah. Biden dropped out.
Yeah.
As we
predicted.
As a lot of people was like, yeah, it's going to be by the end of the week. And of course, people like Harry Sisson was like, he's not dropping out.
He's not dropping out.
Come on, man. And it took about 7 seconds for him to be on this Biden train and jump off that onto the Kamala Harris thing.
The Mamala.
The Mamala.
The Mamala
the
bus.
coconut tree whole spiel or whatever the fuck that is. And now he's all about Kamala Harris. And if you watch the polls and everything, the polls are like, oh, the Democrats have a fighting chance now. And maybe they do. Be something to watch, but here's like the only thing I can say is, and a lot of people have said this too, is like, one, for these polls, who are you asking? And like some of these, like did like NBC just kind of walk downstairs to the lobby and go like, who's gonna vote for Kamala? And then like 3 people out of 5 raise their hand and be like, good enough.
We have a 75% approval rating.
Yeah. Like, it just seems like that's what that is. But like a telling, kind of a red flag, I would say, for Kamala is if you watch their rallies. This is Kamala and Trump. Okay? Oh, if you watch their rallies, there was did you get it? All right. Oh yeah.
Gotta blow it dry after. That's where the term blowjob comes from.
Kamala.
No, seriously. Back in the Wild Wild West. Before the Frontier days, it was called a blowjob because I guess the nannies would, after they would satisfy the teenage boys, help them go to sleep, they would blow it dry. Kamala Harris Trump rallies.
What the flying fuck?
Space shuttle.
That's pretty much where I am right now. Just threw a wrench in the whole. If you watch Trump's rallies, Trump has like he fills arenas.
Yeah, he does.
Or huge like whatever auditoriums or whatever that. Like
he grabs that fucking venue by the pussy.
But not even that. There was one specifically that I was just watching where I'll just bring it up. I was watching.
Not a very big venue from what I see. Oh, it's growing! Where
is it? Right here. All right.
Like, can we look at a like you? Do you guys believe the poll?
Okay.
I remember that.
There was a whole, like he's got this whole large room.
I think it was Pennsylvania. It shows Trump literally filled it and Biden's is all sectioned off. But the way they show the camera, it only shows the full section.
Right. Okay. So, but if you look at this, and then I think right here, they go back to this outside. Yeah, these are the people inside. He had another one outside, which originally this guy here thought it was another rally. This was outside that rally who couldn't fucking get in. And this is Kamala Harris's fucking 68 people. 68 people. Now, if you look at the polls...
It looks more like a busy morning at the Hampton Inn where everybody's trying to get the international breakfast.
It's a B&B. But, yeah, she has 68 people at her rally. And then you look at Trump's, and consistently, he's got tens of thousands.
He's selling. He's filling up arenas for wherever he goes.
But if you look at the polls, some of these pollsters, some of them say no, Trump's still in the lead by 5-6 points, whatever, and other ones are like, no, Kamala is like 1 point behind or 1 point ahead in some cases, and I'm like, and I've heard this too. It's like this is kind of a honeymoon phase because one, it's brand new. It's not Biden. I think that's a huge factor. Oh, God, thanks. Somebody who is alive. That's great. But here's the thing that's going to come back, I think, and bite Kamala in the ass. Everything from her past political everything, and prior to that, when she was a prosecutor, is going to come back. Because that Tulsi Gabbard, during the 2019, primary debates, torched her and brought up a lot of shit in her prosecution record, how she got into politics. I think a mayoral position in I don't know what city in California, and she slept her way allegedly, air quotes, YouTube, into that position when she was 25
she did a lot
or
of 27,
and this guy was 60 or some
allegedly.
shit like that. I'll do YouTube allegedly. But and then here's one too, which I see all over. She was named the border czar by the Biden administration, and then left-wing media is all over going, she was never called the border czar. That never happened. That's like the talking point right now. And all you got, all right, I'm going to explain something to you, like old guard Democrats, really just politicians. The internet is forever. So if you put something out there, it's going to be there, right? And it doesn't matter if you delete it, somebody probably screen captured it. And the beautiful thing is, now it's 2024, 2019 wasn't, the ability was there. It wasn't like 1900 where,
Quick, etch that in stone.
Yeah.
Hold on. I know we caught you just doing it, but we need about 18 more hours.
Get rid of that. It's not like that, okay? So when you say something, it's out there, and people can look it up. So when the Biden administration calls Kamala the border czar, and she's going to take care of the border, clearly she did. Fantastic job. It's out there. So all you have to do is look for it. And that's what a lot of fucking people did. They looked for this whole border czar thing. And oh boy, it was fucking everywhere. In fact, they had found enough examples of it. You could take one instance of the mainstream media now saying she's not the border czar, and then match it with a instance when, 4 years ago, they called her the border czar. It was constant.
Sorry. There we go. Oh, yeah, I was going to look it up. The border czar.
So, yeah. So Biden steps down. Kamala. Here's the thing, too, which fucking is just for a party that screams democracy. Biden steps down, and without a primary, they install Kamala Harris as the front runner. Very democratic, if you ask me.
Start that over one more time. Sorry.
They installed Kamala Harris as the front runner for the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Right. This party that constantly is the one that says for democracy. There's a threat to democracy. This person's destroying our democracy. A democracy being, absolute majority rule. Voting. Democratic process. Kamala's installed. Nobody voted. Nobody voted for her. And I do find it funny, too, that the same woman who got less than 1% of the delegate vote in 2020...
Oh, yeah.
And has a lower approval rating than Joe Biden, is the front runner now, and loved so much, and is beating Trump in all these polls, can barely pull 100 fucking people into a bingo hall, and this is the person that's like, that's gonna beat Trump. Like, I think they might have been better off with Biden. And that's fucking sad. And then she raised record amounts of money in a short amount of time.
She didn't raise shit. They unfroze his account.
$81 million. They said, well, $81 million in a 24-hour period. It's like, look, all the fuck. No, it was a $24 million in like 12 hours, something like that. And then it ended up being like $50 million or some shit, and then $81 million over like 36 hours.
Did. Look what she did. No,
she did all this shit. And then what's funny, it was like 880,000 first-time donors that had donated all this money. And again, to a person that nobody fucking liked. Nobody. I have not. Okay. Outside your standard, like, talking heads on social media and on mainstream media that suck the dick of every Democratic, like, nominee or whatever. You know, it's like, oh, God, why? Oh, Kamala? I guess her, too. Oh.
I didn't really see he had a... It's the big...
Yeah. Outside of them, I have never...
Her dick smells like shit.
I've never heard a single person, and this is no exaggeration, I have never heard a single person say, yeah, I like Kamala Harris. Like, I think it's like the fucking Yeti.
Yeah, I like Kamala Harris from behind.
Okay, maybe I've heard that, but that doesn't count.
Come on. I can't wait for her to get a porn star scandal. I'm Stormy Daniels. I slept with Kamala Harris. Yep, I said that right.
Yeah, well.
She's got a penis that looks like a shriveled mushroom.
And then for a while last week, there's a lot of people saying that, I think, is Joe Biden okay? Because they hadn't seen him for like a week.
Yeah, they thought he died.
Yeah, it's like, maybe he's dead. And I'll be honest, like, I'm like, yeah, we haven't seen him in a week. We haven't heard from him in a week. He is running the country still, isn't he? Right?
He was never running the country.
Well, then he was spotted. But then all the conspiracies came out, and there was one that kind of caught my eye. I'm like,
body double.
Yeah, because he was like 3 or 4 inches taller than Jill. Actually, Hodge twins brought this video up. They showed a picture of Biden like maybe a year ago or so next to Jill.
Deep fake.
That's right, it's a cheap fake. Next to Jill with stilettos or whatever the fuck she was wearing. And you could see like they were about the same height, okay? With her stilettos. But then they had this video from this week with Joe walking into a room, Jill behind him. And he looks like fucking Shaquille O'Neal. And she's wearing like high heels again. They walk next and he walks into the side. She's right behind him. They walk up and he's like this much taller than her. And I'm like, yeah, he is kind of tall there. I mean, maybe the camera adds 4 or 5 inches, but
I want to get into porn.
To your height.
Fuck.
All right, had to clear that up.
I can only ever do on my back. That's 4 inches to the height. No, yeah, I heard about that, the body double thing, because apparently the one video I saw could have been a filter. They're like, look, it's awfully funny that Sleepy Joe is suddenly more alert. And it showed him standing more prone up. It might have been the one where he was standing next to Jill because he's doing this kind of look where he's almost like looking back at an angle. And you see her head right about shoulder level with him.
Right.
But I'd never... The one, like I said, the looking younger filter, the looking younger image, I was like, oh, that could just be a filter. Suddenly he's taller than his wife. That could have just been a camera angle prank.
Right.
Trick of the lens, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
But boy, wouldn't that be awesome if he was. They swapped him in for someone who's 57.
Like they don't even try. They're like, they just put like this like blonde guy in. He's like, oh no, Biden had light hair. Look. He's blonde. He's missing an arm from the war. It's like, no, that's Joe. He got a bruise.
That's a woman. No, that's Joe Biden. Watch. Shoves a kid at her. I don't want to do this part. Fucking do it, Joe. Okay. Oh, it is Joe. Look, he's sniffing children again. Allegedly. YouTube.
What is this? It? There's a video on here. Great mercy. No, that's not it.
Technical difficulty, folks.
No, it's not technical difficulty. It's oh my God, what was that?
Excuse me.
Here's anyone still arguing Trump is a threat to democracy is a joke. Democrats just wiped out their entire primary system to replace their candidate with roughly 3,000 party elite voting. The will of their primary voters didn't matter at all. They staged an actual insurrection.
Well, something I heard, maybe you can confirm this is true or not.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the state-to-state policies, they can't pull Biden off the ballot.
I've heard there's like 7 or 8 states, like Ohio and what is it, like Washington and I can't remember, Nevada and a few other ones, something like that. That once they are in, I mean, she can be written in.
Yeah.
But as far as like the primary goes, that one you'd have to fact check that one. I'm not sure. I did hear that, but I'm like, nah, I don't.
Imagine if Trump still wins, Biden comes in second place. He's not even on the ballot in half the states anymore.
Right.
I'm so not wanted. Nah, bitch, we wanted Sleepy Joe.
Here it is.
Was not true. She was never appointed border czar.
And this will be her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border region since she was appointed as the border czar by President Biden.
People gonna have to counter the misinformation. You already hear folks talking about the border czar. She wasn't the border czar.
President Biden tapped Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, to be the border czar.
Now, she wasn't the border czar. That's what Republicans labeled her.
They were very critical of Kamala Harris, especially in her role as border czar.
Now what she's up against is folks lying about her border record, calling her a border czar.
Kamala Harris, who was appointed as the border czar.
The Biden team didn't declare her the border czar. They wanted her to work on kind of the root causes of immigration.
There has been so much criticism against Kamala Harris. You know, she was the border czar.
Calling her sort of the border czar, which wasn't necessarily the case.
So the border, if they weren't planning to address it in a major way, do not make her your border czar. She met with some of the Northern Triangle countries, but nothing has effectively changed.
Unquote, border.
So the internet's forever, people. Some people forget that, though. I mean, some people forget that. But yeah, so there is. What was I going? Oh, what was I talking about before? Oh yeah, the all the donations coming in and everything.
Oh yeah. Everybody's going crazy because she was able to come up with all this campaign money. I'm like, I think it's funny because the biggest conspiracy I've heard is she didn't earn any of it. It's been dumbing through because it was the frozen funds from Biden's campaign.
From Biden's campaign.
Yeah.
But then also some was from Netflix and all these other huge delegates that, or these donors that donated to these super PACs.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that being Act Blue, which Act Blue has its shady dealings, but hey, you know. Let's see. 5 day. Okay. Yeah. So this is from CNN Politics. How Kamala Harris Warp Speed campaign launch has changed the 2024 race. 5 days since Vice President Kamala Harris campaign launched, at Warp Speed have remade the 2024 race and given Democrats new hope.
Of maybe having a chance in 4 years.
Well, bright green pro-Harris memes have erupted across social media. Fundraising exploded with Harris campaign saying she raised about $126 million between Sunday afternoon and Tuesday evening. And Democrats are more eager to vote their own time, or devote their own time to work to elect Harris. More than 100,000 people signed up to volunteer for her bid. And that's probably more than the actual people total that showed up to her rallies. There's more people fucking working than. But hey, maybe if you go to that rally though, you'll have like VIP treatment. Because let's see, 68 people 100,000. How many rallies do they think they're going to do? Maybe 50, 60?
Let's go with a stupid easy number, 50.
Okay. Get out of there, you. So let's see.
100 people show up to 50 of the rallies each. That's 5,000 people. Yep. That explains $80 million. 5,000 people could definitely donate.
So you're going to have 2,000 people per rally. You're going to have like VIP treatment.
Fuck yeah.
You go in, you have one person parking your car, another person showing you in, another person getting you drinks, one person getting you food, someone rubbing your hair, someone fucking giving you one of those $1 Indian head massages that are all over my fucking feed for some reason now. It's the weirdest fucking thing.
What?
TikTok's fucking weird. When is it going to be canceled? I think it's September. Thank God. Weirdest shit on there.
Canceled.
Yeah, you just won't have it as an app on the store. You'd still fucking hyperlink it, so
yeah,
whatever. Anyway, Harris campaign chair, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I've never seen... Okay, so Michigan, after President Ron Bieber described the energy of the state, one of November's most important battlegrounds is electric. I've never seen any energy like this time in an election cycle.
Years. What?
The Democratic message is largely the same, though, and here's the fucking problem. And I think this is where everybody's like, oh, Kamala is going to come back down. Like you just turn the air off, a wackily inflatable flailing tube arm man. And then it's going to be all crazy, and then, pew, and that's going to be Kamala. Kamala's Hamas. Mamala. It's going to be fucking Mamala's downfall. The Democratic message is largely the same. Though Harris has put her own spin on it, much of what she's focused on in recent days, defending women's reproductive freedom, which Trump, and I've heard this through left-wing media, they say Trump is going to have a nationwide ban on abortion and make it impossible to get contraceptives. You can fact check that. It's not true. It's just not. What he's done and what he has claimed he's going to do or keep is it's the state's right. It's the state's choice. So if you have enough people in your state, you can vote on it. Democratic process. And we're going to keep it. We're going to make it 9 months or whatever the fuck. Or
48 months.
Outright, yeah. Yeah. Or outright say it ain't happening. But it's your state, which is you. Whoever's watching, whoever's listening.
Yeah.
That's you. That's what he's doing. States' rights, which it should be. Federal government should have nothing to fucking do with that. At all. Because the more power they have, the less power you have. That's the way it fucking works. Rejecting trickle-down economic policies. Standing up for democratic norms and values. Basically mirroring what Joe Biden has campaigned on. All right? The thing is, like I said, the things that Trump could counter with all this, and it doesn't even have to counter with it. All you got to do is just pay attention to what the fuck's going on. Trump could end up calling Kamala a radical leftist because she is in some of her policies. Although when she was a
prosecutor.
Yeah, when she was a prosecutor, she's very much the opposite.
She was very.
How many black people did she hold in jail? People that she denied evidence for people on death's row.
People that were kept over their stay.
Yep. For fighting forest fires, I believe, wildfires. Yes.
She was exploiting their labor.
So, the travails of Miss Harris' unsuccessful campaign in 2020 Democratic presidential nomination are well documented. They include a lack of clear messaging, a campaign rife with internal discord, and a candidate who was prone to awkward interviews and gaffes. We're just going to have the female fucking Biden then.
Oh, God. I hope she doesn't start sniffing kids and shit in her pants allegedly, too.
Over the course of...
She wears a skirt, dude.
Yeah, it's going to be roll down. Over the course of 2019, in debates and interviews, Ms. Harris endorsed scrapping private health insurance for a government-run system. Fantastic. She raised policing reform, including redirecting law enforcement budgets to other priorities. She endorsed decriminalizing undocumented entry into the U.S. and entertained abolishing ICE, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency. She backed the sweeping Green New Deal, environmental legislation, and supported a ban of fracking and offshore drilling. Also, her ties to Biden's record, because, like, in this point before, she didn't have any clear direction of what she wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the reason why right now she's adopting Biden's running policies. It's going to be a different face spewing the same words. This is all we're going to have. And our country's in such great shape. I mean, why wouldn't you want to adopt the same running?
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems like the right thing to do. You know, don't change what's not broken.
I still like how you're seeing TikTok videos, Facebook Shorts, Facebook Reels, YouTube Shorts, Insta clips, where people are still like, you can fact check it. Here's the links. We have the best economy we've ever had since the dawn of our country. We have the best economy in the world.
Well, you know what they do?
What?
You know what they get around that? You know what they, like, when they say that? They say we have one of the best economies in the world right now, which technically is true. The whole world's in fucking shambles, though, right now. Like, absolute shambles. So that's like saying, listen, the shit I took today is better than the shit I took yesterday.
Because this one was bigger, and I can definitely fit a bigger penis up my butt.
And then the whole issue with their abortion. Oh, yeah, abortion. I got fucking some... their abortion. Plot twist, everybody. Trump and Harris. Didn't want anyone to know about that one, did you? No, their debate. The debate that was, I think the next one's slated for like September 10th, 11th, or something like that. Or 3rd, whatever, fuck. Sometime in September. Well, a lot of left-wing media now is saying, well, Trump's suddenly backpedaling. He doesn't want to do it. Because after Harris was allegedly announced, it's not official yet, but that's the issue. See, if you actually look at what was said, Trump said, you figure out who your actual primary is going to be, or your candidate, presidential candidate, and I'll debate that person. Like, figure that out.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But then, as soon as that's said, you spin it and then be like, oh, he's going to back out because he's afraid of Kamala. And I can't wait till the first debate. Like, if Tulsi Gabbard ripped her apart, I can't wait. Trump's he works a crowd like a wrestler or a stand-up comedian or both. And he's going, especially if it's a live crowd there, he's going to annihilate her. And if they don't, like this last one with Joe Biden, he doesn't need a crowd. Clearly, he showed that. All he had to do was be like, I'm just going to talk. And he did. And Kamala Harris does this thing, and I think it's because probably she has PR rep who told her, it's like, listen, you have to be more personable. You look like a fucking cardboard robot out there. Like, you have no personality. You have the personality of a fucking rotten maple leaf. Like, you need to laugh more. Like, be more personable. So she goes out there.
God.
This weird fucking... this weird... What, do you think you fell out of a coconut tree? This weird fucking cackle. And I've heard...
That's actually really good.
I've heard left-wing media say, well, the Republicans, they make fun of her coconut, her coconut tree comment or whatever. It's like, listen, it's not what she said. It's her fucking laugh. Like, her laugh it's insufferable. But going with what she says, she has some winners there too. In fact, I might even have them saved. Yes.
Tough talk is this guy's calling card, and now
It's a remix.
I've heard this before. Did I send it to you?
Ah, no, I found it.
Yeah, I've heard this before.
This is great.
So yeah, she is like running away with memes right now. I mean, look at that.
Oh, this is great.
So that woman right there, the coconut tree woman, she's got some bangers for like inspirational quotes. I happen to have some here. Okay, so one is, it is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Another one. Oh, well, look at that. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
GWB would be so proud of her.
The significance of the passage of time. Right? Significance of the passage. What the fuck?
I was what?
Oh my god, no, that's cut off. That's why. We know community banks are in the community and understand the needs and desires of that community, as well as the talent and capacity of the community. So Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong, and it goes against everything that we stand for. She could be the leader of the free world in a few months, people. I can't wait. You know who her running mate should be? In this first...
Joe Biden.
No. Wouldn't that be something? They just do the old bait and switch. That's called the double. That's called the double turn in wrestling.
Y'all thought you got rid of me. Nope.
No, I was at work and I thought this. I'm like, man.
AOC.
No, I was listening to Kamala and like the whole announcement and everything. And I'm like, man, fucking Hillary Clinton has got to be throwing things in her living room right now, just fucking pissed. And then I'm like, imagine if she picked Hillary to be a running mate. I'm like, man, wait, we got to get somebody. The world hates Kamala. Who do we get? And Hillary's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. The whole rest of the crowd, no one's raising their hand. Like, anybody. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hillary, yes. Oh, thank you. It was so hard fought. I've worked so hard for this moment.
Anybody at all?
Yeah. Front row, right in front. Ooh.
What's that from? That's been in so many.
I know it's that's a reference. It's in a lot of different things.
Oh,
probably SpongeBob and everything else.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. So she's gonna be a banger. Well, yeah, I guess that way too. If you look at her record.
I was able to get Putin out of here. How? You don't want to know.
And then
you see him in a bucket.
Yeah, I know all there.
No. 9.
That's German. That's not even close.
I don't fucking know Russian. What is no in Russia?
I don't know, but I know it's not 9.
Well, let's find out.
Russia, no.
How to say no in Russian.
No, this is gonna be good.
Нет.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Niet.
Kamala is Biden.
Biden is Kamala.
Kamala is a man. Oh my God. Kamala is a man. So that's the 2024 race, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm opening the borders.
Oh my God.
Gun is sticking in my hip. I haven't watched that movie in so fucking long.
Neither have I.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
So
back on track, sorry.
During
Even I'm going to apologize for that one.
Well, during this whole last week with, the Kamala thing, Biden backing out and everything, what do you think happened? Riots. It's that time of year.
Oh, yeah, Summer of Love, come back tour, I heard.
Yeah. Yep. In D.C. Badly understaffed parking police assaulted by a mob of thousands pelted with poop at pro-Hamas riot in D.C.
Oh, yeah, you hear about the Liberty Bell?
Yes.
That's disgraceful.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, is that fucking Philly? That's not Philly? And I looked it up. Like,
the minute I saw it, I knew it. I was like, that's fucking disgusting. That's disgraceful.
It was all pro-Hamas.
And nobody's even fucking taking a second to read both sides of the story.
Here's the thing, too. Going back to Kamala, talking about pro-Hamas. Where's she going to fall on that side, like that aisle? Because she stated she remembers raising money for Palestine when she was a child. Okay? But she's also said throughout her career that she's pro Gaza.
Yeah.
So,
well, what are the left good for? Pandering to the mob. What's the mob going after right now?
But that's the
pro-Hamas.
But that's the problem right now. Only part of their mob is. This is where we've said before the left is eating themselves from within, because part of them are pro-Palestine, part of them are not.
Yeah.
You have Hamas, you have Gaza. So who are you going to?
What the fuck business is of ours?
That's the problem. Like, the only people that are going to. Oh, this is another point too. The only people that are going to really like lock onto that is the Jewish crowd, and not definitively, but primarily because it's Israel, right?
Yeah.
And I say that reminds me of something else. One of the possible candidates, and I do not think it'll be the one she picks, but one of the possible candidates is Shapiro, not Ben Shapiro.
Oh, Harvey Weinstein, gotcha.
No.
I tried for you, Harvey. So, let me ask you.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
Dude. Yeah, right here. Josh Shapiro is a governor of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
All right. This is one of the front runners for VP. Here's the problem, though. He's Jewish, clearly, Shapiro, right? she can't pick a Jew to be her VP because that'll completely go against half of her voting base.
Oh, yeah.
Which is interesting because now she's put herself in a position. I can't vote or I can't pick you because you're Jewish. Well, wait a minute. That's discrimination.
Yes, it is.
So if he's a good candidate, well, I can't pick you because you're Jewish. That's discriminatory. Or you pick him, man, he's good. And now you have, well, why do you have a Jew in there who's pro-Palestine or pro-Israel? So what do? Like, you, right off the bat, she's backed herself into a corner. And not her specifically, but because they've spent the last 4 years, 8 years really, pandering to different groups, like, well, this is a minority group, this is a minority group, this is a minority group. And you pander and pander and pander and pander.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's like, look at all these different, like, fucking, we have all these disenfranchised groups. Well, here's the problem. You can't fucking put everybody in the same room and everyone's going to like each other.
You saw what happened when they did that on the parade.
Right. Yeah. You can't put all these people, yeah, because what, you had the Palestine, the pro-Hamas, and then the LGBT. Yeah, two fucking, it's like, not everybody's going to get along. But you do that for so long, then you run into a situation where you're like, fuck, it's not even the fact that people don't get along, that have different, they're fighting for different issues. Now you have two groups that fucking are in a blood war against each other. It's like you find yourself going down these two paths at the same times, and eventually you get to the Blood and the Crips. It's like, fuck. Can you guys just get along for the election cycle? Fuck you. Fuck your stupid politics. But that's what it's come down to. And now they find themselves in a position, it's like, fuck, I can't pick you because you're Jewish. I mean, your policies are... no, wait, that's not what I said. Like, you're going to piss somebody off. So that's why I say it's just going to be a matter of time before the inflatable arm political aura around Kamala Harris just deflates. And it's back to, well, who's Kamala? All right, let's talk about her record again. And all you got to do is go back to 2019, look at Tulsi Gabbard, go, what about this and this and this and this and this? And then Kamala go, and then
not gonna pick
less than 1% of the vote.
We're not picking you because you're a Jew. We're not picking you because you have the policies of a Jew. Wait, what?
Yeah. So...
It's not because you're a Jew
Yeah.
that we're not picking you. We were going to pick you if you didn't have the policies of a Jew.
Wait, what's that and then there'll be more than one person. What's that supposed to mean?
That'll be her fucking one-liner.
Yeah, wait a minute. And that'll... Yeah. Yeah, so... U.S. Park Police, back to the whole pelting with poop.
Yes.
Were alone and understaffed while being assaulted by a mob of thousands of pro-Hamas rioters in Washington, D.C. on Wednesday, some of whom pelted officers with poop, according to the force's union chief. Park Police Fraternal Order of Police Chairman Kenneth Spencer told the Post in an interview a day after the unhinged riot that just 29 of his officers had faced down the terrorist-sympathizing mob outside Union Station, which is just blocked from the Capitol. We were primarily alone with, said Spencer, a 15-year veteran who revealed that years of empty promises to beef up the agency's shoestring budget had gone unfulfilled by Congress and the Interior Department, which primarily deals with the nation's rural national parks rather than civil unrest in big cities. It's almost like defunding the police doesn't fucking work. That's another one that Kamala wanted to do, that she spoke a lot about. Reforming the police system, which all right, so you'll hear left wing. It's like, she didn't want to defund police. She wanted to reform the police system, which if you looked at what she was running on was allocating funds derived to pay police, for lack of a better term, to something else other than police.
Yeah.
Sounds like defunding the police. Yeah, probably. We got to worry about that. But
yeah.
Especially in the DC area. Everybody's so understaffed, just like we are, he explained. We have a huge mission. We're the agency that protests First Amendment rights when the people come to visit D.C.
Let me ask you something. What is the conflict going? For those, this is going to sound really stupid to say it like this, but yeah, kind of go with me, answer the questions. You'll get to where I'm going with me. I promise. What is the conflict in Palestine and Israel right now?
Whether or not Israel it should be recognized as a state in Palestine. Because the argument right now is like, well, Palestine's been there longer than Israel. And then if you look at the opposite end of the spectrum, they'll say, well, no, Israel is a state that was formed as a state and should be given to, it's originally the Jewish community's like area, their land. So
what world leadership governments are directly involved with Palestine and Israel? Like, obviously, China, Japan, Hong Kong, or Korea, Vietnam, whatever. That's Asia. What's the other continents? I'm drawing a blank right now.
For what?
Like Europe.
Mm-hmm.
What does Europe consist of? England, London.
Oh, like the Czech Republic,
yeah,
Slovakia.
Right? Okay. So what is Palestine? What is Israel?
They're in the Middle East.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can figure this out. Hold on. What nation are they of? It's a 17-hour flight from Albany to Palestine.
No, we should go.
In case you're wondering.
We could be there by tomorrow. Imagine.
I don't know why I type nations. First thing that pops up. Nations of the world.
Jeez. Egypt. Okay, Hamas also thousands of Palestinian prisoners in Israel to be freed, and this is part of their war though since 2007.
There we go. Okay, hold on. So
Africa.
They're part of Western Europe, right?
Right. Hamas, in this case is wing, terrorist group, Israel, UK, EU.
Well, they're somewhere in there. Forget it. There we go. Russia, Poland. I can't see very well. This is not working out. Turkey, Iran.
See, there's like
Afghanistan, Pakistan.
We're going back to the Ottoman Empire. If you go before World War II.
Basically, what I'm getting at is, like, if Canada was having issues with France, and they were trying to come through our fucking door to do their deal, that kind of affects us.
Right.
Where the fuck are we over there touching that shit? That it's a part of our problem? That we have to fight this shit? Is there no one in Russia, China, India, Iran, Saudi Arabia? Don't worry about that south part. Why the fuck are these nations not doing this something? If there's so many human travesties going on, why are we the
same reason why the United States is the one that usually involves himself? Look at Ukraine. I mean, the issue with Ukraine is they are trying to become part of NATO, and we are footing the bill for whatever reason as far as NATO goes and trying to aid Ukraine. And that's one of Trump's issues. Like, he's like, listen, why are we footing like 120 or 200 billion dollars and the rest of NATO is paid what, 80 or something? It's just stupid numbers thrown out there. Not even anywhere near what we've paid. Like, there's a why. Now there's a whole bunch of like shady dealings business wise, the Biden family and things that you could throw out there in an argument and say, well, it's because of this or that. But to basics, like, why are we paying so much and they're not?
So the point I was getting at was we have no business protesting something we have no effect over. They can fucking protest all they want. You know what Palestine and Israel are doing over there right now because of this?
Really? Go ahead.
They're over there like, they spray painted a bell. The fuck's that? My kid's head got smashed off a wall. Did spray painting that bell stop that?
Oh, you're talking about the protesters?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing is...
the Palestinian government, the Israeli government, they're not going to see you fucking morons. They're not going to see these protests, whether you're pro-Palestine, pro-Israel, whatever. Doesn't fucking matter.
I don't think they really care about.
They're not going to see these protests and be like, you know what? We're really upsetting the Americans. We need to stop all this fighting.
That's true.
Done.
But here's the thing. That what you said is 100% true. But I'm going to go out on a limb and just say this. My opinion, everybody who's protesting right now, it's not about what they're protesting for. It's all about virtue signaling.
What?
It's all about virtue signaling.
Virtue?
Yeah.
Like virtue. Like
yes.
Right and wrong?
Yes.
Okay, virtue
This is what
signaling.
needs to be done. Look how good I am. I'm falling in line. Like, we should be protecting over there, policing, like, the Israel.
Fuck this, go over there, become a citizen for that government, and sign up and do it.
Right. But they're not going to do
Fucking
that.
do
Because it's not about what's going on over there. It's about what is in style for the progressive left right now. What's in style? One of the big things is the Palestine-Israel conflict. And they're going to march and give it 6 months, it'll be something else. And they'll forget all about this. Remember George Floyd and all that shit?
Who?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the fucking problem. Because that doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, police brutality. And now you bring it up to them, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, police brutality is bad. But Hamas, we're dealing with this right now. It's like, you're not fucking dealing with anything, like you said. You're screaming and shouting a bunch of stuff, destroying historical landmarks, and that's going to help what? They're going to listen to us. The U.S. government? Of course they are, because they fucking listen to everybody. Regardless of what side of the aisle you're on. They do fucking nothing. At least for...
And these are the same people that were so quick to say, we have no business getting involved in Afghanistan during, Operation Enduring Freedom.
Yes.
These are the same people that said, we have no business being over there fighting their wars. We don't need to bring democracy to them. That's not. We can't force them to abide by our policies, and yet you want to sit there and scream at our government. You need to get over there and put boot to ass.
In name, yes.
That was all over oil.
Not in practice, or not in personnel. And by that I mean, the left was the ones that went, we do not need to be over there. I know that because that was me back then. That was the old Libertarian Party. That was what it was.
Yeah.
What we've said before, 15 years ago, like conservative now, their views, especially J.D. Vance's, like a lot of his ideas are conservative. But if you go back 20, 30 years, what he's talking about right now is the Libertarian Party from 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what conservative is right now. So when you say, it's like, we don't need to be over there, this is the same party that did that. It's like, yeah, it was the same party in name, but it ain't the same people. Because those people are sitting right here right now, at least on this side of the table, I know for a fact, that was saying 20 years ago, why the fuck are we over there? Like, we're getting oil. And then when you said that, the right-wing media would be like, no, we're not. That's not the reason we're over there.
We're bringing democracy to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Because that's the best way for everybody to solve their problems.
Isn't that fucking wild how just shit turned around like that? But now, like I've told people, like I registered as conservative now, but what I really am is a disenfranchised classic libertarian from 15, 20 years ago.
I agree that we had no business over there at first.
We did at first, and then we just kept staying over there. And kept staying over there.
That's what I was getting at. In the beginning, we had no reason to be over there. We were attacked. Okay, now we have reason to be over there. Okay, they got the message. Let's pull out.
Well, you remember the first time we were over there was Russia.
Yeah.
That was the original Desert Storm.
Yes. That was what? 90s. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we grew up. Yeah, we were hearing that kind of shit in the kindergarten classes.
And Junior had to finish what Daddy couldn't finish.
Yep.
When 9/11 happened, and
it was
the best thing I ever heard from Lewis Black was a stand-up bet. All the evidence pointed to Iran, right? Who backed Afghanistan, Osama bin Laden, specifically the Taliban. And Lewis Black said it back. All the evidence is laid out, and he goes, Iran, Iraq! And we just suddenly went back to Iraq, Desert Storm 2.
Yep.
Operation Enduring Freedom. So, yes, the party, libertarians and Democrats, were, why the fuck are we over there? We shouldn't be over there. Now you fast forward 20 years to now, the name is completely flipped what they're doing. So we need to be over there. We need to be trying to have these guys find some kind of level ground to settle this whole conflict and bring peace. Of course, with force.
Yeah.
And the Republican Party is like, Trump said it. I want people to stop dying. Where the fuck did those two parties switch? Some point. Really, it was like the 2016 election. That's when suddenly things went. I think it was a combination of Obama's presidency and the 2016 election. That's when things just went and flipped over, and here I am sitting, considered right wing now. I was like, I don't know what the fuck happened, but here I am. But yeah, so
There's one.
The left is. What are you doing?
Having a seizure.
Okay. Yeah, so. No, the left is not them rioting and doing all this shit. It doesn't mean anything to the people over there. They probably have no fucking idea what's going on. They got to worry about shit blowing up and stuff. They're not worried about fucking
I wouldn't worry more about shit blowing up. I'd be more worried about shit going down.
They're more worried about.
Well, there goes another one down.
Jan, who used to be a Jason or something like that, fucking screaming and shouting with half-shaved heads, spray painting Hamas, pro-Hamas shit, whatever, fucking the Liberty Bell. That's not going to mean shit to them. But, because that's what the fucking in thing is right now for the progressive left, they're all about it. Any reason to get out there and be like, I'm a part of something. It's like, you could fucking volunteer or fire department or some shit. Something that's, I don't know, useful.
Well, like I said, it's because I'm sure people are going to be out there. Well, if let's say 1 million people watch this episode tonight, there's probably going to be a handful that say, this guy's an insensitive prick, saying we shouldn't be doing anything over there. We shouldn't be helping the world fight for peace. I'm not saying we shouldn't be helping other countries deal with peace. But if this is not a peace issue and no one else is willing to step in and help, we have no business getting involved.
No.
You don't see Europe. You don't see riots in Europe, Paris, England, France, Africa. You don't see these riots in China because they're burning some samurai effigy because Hamas isn't winning.
No, but you know what you do see in Paris? The crazy fucking intro to the Olympics. You see what all
I
is
didn't
going?
see. I heard about it.
There's a lot of shit that's like, one, and this is a lot of, now maybe this is all coincidence. Maybe just a lot of fucking coincidences altogether. But just someone who, the things we read and the things we pay attention to, and there was a lot that was like, man, I don't, one was, it was pointed out, there's a lot of satanic symbolism in this. A lot of blatant defaming and I guess disrespecting the Christian religion. Elon Musk said something about it. He's like, this is the direct, this is basically a direct attack on Christianity from Elon Musk, African American. One was, there was a balloon. Remember how we had the balloon issue a year ago or so, whatever it was, going over this dilapidated statue, the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Like fucking holes and rust and all this shit in it. So a balloon going over that, which I was like, that's one thing, okay. And then there was the trans Last Supper. Like they had this whole image, it was all trans. And a child, there was a kid sitting at the table with them. But if you look at it, yeah, go ahead.
I gotta see this.
It was like, if you look, I think I have a picture of, it was that image and then the Last Supper right underneath it. And you look at it, you're like,
what's the best way to search it up?
Trans Olympic Last Supper or whatever, something like that.
Olympic opening ceremony. Videos. Would they do this any other religion? Okay, let's see.
Parents, as a CDPHP member, your adult child
Apparently, CDPHP.
Sons of bitches.
The official video of the Paris 2024 opening ceremony is deleted from the Olympics account.
Yeah, and they deleted it because of the backlash.
London 2012. Andy, did you watch the opening ceremony? Do you think it was wonderful or a wood washout?
I watched all 4 hours of it. I sat down.
I didn't
That's rough.
I knew you were going to say that.
I just love event television. And it's no serious point here, which is the French Republic is, I think that
Even though she's the state pension, they're right.
So people get
Why no one's stopped?
I just want to watch the video.
I think
Very.
Doesn't show it.
I got it.
You got it right now?
Yeah, they deleted that. Well, there's like a video during it. Your voice is what my brain said.
Hold on.
Like, why is the blue man there? Oh yeah, then the pale horse.
4 Horsemen. I saw
Yeah, and they had all of them, all the horses.
Deleted Olympics opening ceremony.
There it is.
You got the video?
There's a comparison.
Oh, that's just okay. It's just that image. I want to see the full video.
Oh, the full intro?
Yeah.
Oh, good luck. You might find it on YouTube or something, but
I'm looking. This video's not available.
yeah. There's I think the Olympics scrubbed it from the internet. So unless someone's got it captured out there, which I'm sure there is, you just have to wait a day or two and it'll pop up again. But yeah, so they had the trans Last Supper with the kid there, and they had the fucking old blue guy there with the golden beard and hair, and it was just fucking weird. And then, while I think it was the part where the horse was running and going down the aisle, the camera pans back, and there's a golden calf, like on this, yeah, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of coincidences right now. And then just to top it off, which I thought was special, who bears the torch? Snoop Dogg. And what's the fucking torch look like? A giant fucking joint. I'm like, is that where we are? And the point that was brought up, and I think is, you can't argue it, what the fuck does any of this have to do with sports?
Men's, women's, non-binaries.
Trans catwalk. It's probably just talking heads. Yeah.
Talking heads.
But yeah, so the point is, like, what's this have to do with sports? Like any sport. What does any of this going on right now have to do with sports? The answer is nothing, in case anyone's wondering. There's nothing to do with it.
Oh shit. That's fucking intense.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of like imagery that is like maybe it's a coincidence. Maybe it's pareidolia. Maybe it's just things that people are stretching. Like, this is what I want to see, so this is what I see. But boy, and I had to approach it the second time I watched it after that, and I'm like, okay, let's just like not. Maybe it's just me noticing that, you know. So I watched it again. I'm like, there's no fucking way. There's just too much here. I'm like, there's no way. And then, which wasn't on my 2024 card, and now I think it really doesn't mean anything significant. It's just one of those things you're like, oh fuck, here we go. The explosion in Yellowstone. That one, you didn't hear about that earlier this past week?
No.
Let me see if I can bring that up.
A volcano?
Quick. Not like a caldera, but there you go. The Biscuit Basin. Now they call it a burp, which happens every now and again, yeah. But I saw that, and I mean they've recorded the ground at Yellowstone raising, bubbling up over the last few decades. But I saw that, and I'm like, fuck me, like why are we doing this right now? Like, there's so much other shit going on. Like, I can't, please. And if that thing ever goes, we're fucked. Like, they're fucked out there. I mean, we'll get like 10, 8, 12 inches of snow. Ash.
Catch them.
Catch them all. We're going to be catching them all. Because if that thing goes, we're all going to be... Yeah. But it's going to fuck the world up for a few years.
Oh.
Like, we will have another ice age. Legit. If you want to get rid of your global warming bullshit, just... let's get Yellowstone to erupt. You don't have to worry about it. It'd be a fucking ice age. It'd be great. We all go to it. We'll throw on our winter hats. And you want to make a snowman? It's a reference to the new Deadpool movie, which you have to watch.
I already know it has nothing to do with cocaine.
Yeah, but yeah. And then on top of this, which I already brought up last weekend, Ancestry.com.
Yes.
Which was bought by Blackstone, not BlackRock. Blackstone.
The grill.
The grill.
Blackstone the grill.
Oh, no, not the grill. It's one of the super companies that owns everything. So any of you fuckers that had your ancestry done or whatever by Ancestry.com, you have your DNA.
Not me.
In their system. Yeah, it is you.
Nope.
Any of you that had that done, now your DNA is owned by another company. One of the super companies. One of the 3 giant super companies.
Maybe they could clone that and make it a little bit more obedient.
Which one?
Bye. Shit, it didn't work.
No.
Usually the camera stops recording after somebody says bye.
No, we're still here. It's got to be a specific person that says bye. It's not me. I don't know who it is. But yeah, so now they settled that lawsuit, and because that was the whole lawsuit. It was like, well, you can't own, because we have individual private rights in owning our DNA. And the courts, whatever court they went through, went, fuck you and your DNA. Here you go, Super PAC. I donated the fucking... Oh, speaking of Super PAC, before we go, I was just watching this video before you got here of some things that have come out about the shooter. About...
Coons.
No, was it Crook? Crooks.
Yeah,
Crook. It was. Fucking fitting name. So...
Jeremiah.
You remember how they couldn't break it or like get into his phone?
Yeah.
They said, his phone was swiped. You know, this kid that fucking miraculously had the technology to swipe his phone to even the FBI couldn't get in it.
Yeah.
Somehow the FBI is like, we can't get into it. It's like everyone's like, bullshit. You fucking read all of our messages all the time. Well, they got into it. Okay. What they found is he evidently had 3 offshore accounts with the equivalent of $1.3 million in it. They don't know yet where the money was coming from, but they saw transactions coming from some unnamed source. Here's the thing. What they also, that was early on, what they found out after that is he had contact with an undisclosed number in the FBI prior to it. What they also found was that separate from the phone, the FBI had identified him and was watching him months before the shooting or the attempted assassination, right? Now what's being talked about is, well, now what they're investigating or talking about investigating is the potential FBI involvement with the assassination attempt and just working through. It's almost like this always fucking happens. Like, no, this is different than all the other times, right? So that's what I was watching before you got here was, and with the what's her face being grilled, Kim Cheadle, the director, she was torched, and then she said she wasn't going to step down,
and then she resigned.
Because
director.
But a lot of people, what they said was, well, this was the left wing of Biden administration signing off on this. That was a conspiracy theory that floated around. I don't think it was. Judging by the information that they have now, this kid had pictures of Trump, Biden, and other main, like, big political politicians on both sides of the aisle. I think
could be painted to look that way.
Maybe, but I'm willing to bet that this was someone who was just a radical, like an idealist, who wanted to reform or reshape things. Like, we don't need this side, we don't need this side. These two candidates, like, they got to go. That's what it looks like to me. Now, talking about Kim Cheadle and the hearings and everything for her and Congress, whatnot. Guess who's going on break? The government. In the middle of the hearings for Trump, in the middle of the Kim Cheadle thing, they're going on a break. I think 6 weeks. They haven't resolved anything. And they didn't even resolve their budget to make sure the government doesn't shut down. We'll do it when we get back. They're taking a break. Again. In the middle of everything going on. I just found that out last night. I'm like, man, it must be nice to make $200,000 a year, be in the middle of shit that, I don't know, helps the country go on one hand, and on the other hand is like, there's fucking an assassination attempt on a current front runner to be the president of the United States. We'll deal when we get back in a month and a half. Are you fucking kidding me? So that's happening too.
Fuck me with a fist.
But to end on a positive note. Actually, no, it's not a positive note. Level 10 in Helldivers. It's coming.
I heard.
Yeah, we're fucked. Did you see some of the new beasties and everything that's coming?
A fucking tentacle thing.
Well, August 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah. August 6th, we're going to have those tentacles up our a-holes.
All 8 of us.
Their fingers are going to be in us, and not in a pleasant way. Another Deadpool reference. You'll get it when you see it.
They're going to be 2 teams dropped on every planet now. 2 teams of 4. So that 8 tentacle monster can have one of us each Helldiver. Ooh. Ooh. Why are you making us kids?
I'm backwards.
I don't do ass to mouth. I don't mind it. Why are you stopping? What?
You're a sad individual. So you can't wait for level 10 either, can you?
No.
We're fucked. Bye.
I'm going to try it. Bye.
Much like everything else.
I saw it. I saw the advertisement for it in the trailer and the TikToks. 30 years people have been waiting for this rematch, or something like that. He says Wolverine and Beast. No, Sabretooth.
Yeah. Oh,
and that was the original Sabretooth.
Yeah, it was.
From X-Men 1.
Yeah, it was.
I was like, oh, I saw that. I'm like, I wanted, that's, oh.
There's a lot of good fucking cameos in it.
Oh.
Like, a lot of good cameos. I mean, it's Deadpool, so he breaks the fourth wall, and he always, like, he makes reference to the cameos. It's like, oh, man, there's going to be a whole bunch of cameos, blah, blah, blah. He does a whole Deadpool shtick. So right off the bat, you know you're gonna get a bunch of cameos, and there were good ones. And there was one in particular, where like, no shit, and they like throw you a curveball. You're like, what the fuck? I didn't even see that guy.
What happened? What was it? Tell me.
I can't. You gotta
tell me. I want to see it anyway.
Movie.
You're not telling me who the supervillain is or whether he lives or dies. You're not spoiling the movie.
No. Spoiler alert. So, in the movie, they go. All right. So
I know.
wait.
I heard it too.
So you go to the Void. You know what the Void is? Okay. So you didn't watch Loki?
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, they're literally combining.
Yeah. So did you watch Loki?
Yeah.
All right. Specifically the first season. So you know what the Void is? Okay.
Yes.
So they end up in the Void through a bunch of events, series of events, and one it's the remote for the light. It's the they end up there and they're like, how the hell did we get here? Blah blah blah, whatever dialogue, and all of a sudden they start fighting. You know, one of the few times that Logan and Deadpool fight.
Yeah.
So they start fighting, and all of a sudden, after they brawl, you hear like a voice like, "Oh, we fight, but then we gotta work together." Blah blah blah, whatever it is. I'm like, what the hell? There's this hooded figure, like up on a rafter, and he points, and you see like what he's wearing. You're like, get the fuck out of here! I'm like, so it's you see like blue gear.
Captain America.
So you think it's Captain America? Like, no fucking. I was like, sounds like Chris Evans. Is it Chris Evans? So you see him point. You're like, oh, I think it is Chris Evans. And he does he jumps off this platform, whatever, lands, does a superhero land, and Deadpool's like, oh, he stuck the superhero landing too. And he stands up, walks toward him, and undoes the thing, and it's Chris Evans. And you're like, oh shit, it is Chris Evans. So we're watching, and then this whole convoy that's like Mad Maxy kind of thing comes in, and it's the three of them and this convoy, which has like Toad from Fox's X-Men.
Yep, the first one.
It's got Pyro. It's got Sabretooth. It's got all these characters from Fox's universe, basically. So they're all in the Void, and Deadpool says something along the lines of, well, you got the three of us. It's Logan, me, and he goes, torch, and he goes, flame on, and he flies off, and you're like, what the fuck? And he flies, and you see the four, and he flies up there. You're like, wow, I didn't see that one coming. And I'm like, oh man,
the minute you said blue, I'm like,
but the reaction you had is the reaction everybody had, because you never hear Chris Evans say anything about that role since he got Captain America.
Exactly.
Like, it's never brought up until now. But again, it's the multiverse, and they can do all that shit.
Oh, I want to see.
But that was one of a whole bunch of different things. And if you don't Hugh Jackman has all the musicals and stuff he's been on. Like, they make a whole bunch of references to shit like that. Like, has nothing to do with movies. Like, stuff that has to do with Hugh Jackman's life, not Logan. Not Wolverine.
Logan. Yeah.
And it was good. A lot of people were like, oh, this is better than Endgame's. Like, no, it wasn't. It was fucking good, but it was not even close to Endgame. Endgame was something that was a different beast.
The problem, hold on.
You're talking a 22 movie story arc with multiple characters, very in-depth, carefully crafted stories for each of the main characters and side characters supporting them that each had their own story over a 10-year period. One movie will not touch Endgame. You need a long story arc with a lot of characters that you really care about. But was it good? Yes. It was good in the same way that Spider-Man No Way Home was.
But let me ask you something.
That was fantastic.
Would Endgame have been as good as you say it is if it had that build-up without it?
It wouldn't have been Endgame.
Exactly.
It wouldn't have happened.
So
moot point.
I just
Endgame wouldn't have been Endgame.
I think Endgame is only as good as it is. You could have.
But that's I'm just talking about the movie Endgame. Like, you're not going to. One, you're not going to convince me otherwise. But two, you're not going to make.
Not trying to.
Right, but you're not going to make a story that ties in or ties all loose ends together like that did. Like, that was to me, that was the end of that Marvel Cinematic Universe. All done. And after that, it's just like, okay, now what do we do with like the rest of the characters? And the rest is history. Deadpool, completely separate from that. It looks like they're tying in with an X-Force thing because they had a lot of other characters from Fox's Marvel that wasn't just the X-Men. So I was like, one in particular, I'm like, I did not fucking see that one coming, and I was stoked for it. I was like, yes.
Which one was that?
I can't tell you, dude. You got to see it.
That's fine.
Like, I just told you a huge one right there. Like that was one you're like, what the fuck?
I can't wait. I gotta see it. I want to see that. I want to see the movie for that. And Sabretooth still.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Sabretooth was good. But again, they showed that in the trailer, so you knew that was coming.
Yeah.
But that
I just want to see how the fight ends.
Oh yeah.
Because that's like 30 years of in the Marvel cinema, in the Marvel universe. That's just decades. That's sagas.
It is. That's one. But also, so is Deadpool and Wolverine. And
so
I will tell you,
Wolverine and the Hulk.
Deadpool. They make reference to that too. Oh, they make a lot of fucking reference. If you're like not like me, I'm like I pay attention to comics, but I'm not like a sweaty. Like, but with the big characters and shit, like, well, because there are sweaties out there. They're like, actually, that was, no. I pay attention to like some of the bigger arcs and stuff. I mean, Christ, you got Batman v Predator, but I pay attention to that's because Predator's my wheelhouse. Anyway, so like everybody knows Wolverine versus Hulk. I mean, it's referenced. I mean, the comic book series. There's been multiple. People talk about it on online forums. Everyone knows about it. So I think that's a big one why they reference it, and they do. They reference the suits he wears throughout his comic book art.
Yeah.
They give clarity on why he's wearing the yellow suit now, suddenly. I'm like, what else? Oh, the battles between Deadpool and Wolverine, which they do justice in this. They're fucking good. And they are Fox Marvel good. Deadpool good.
Good.
Like, they're good.
Good.
They make reference to the last Logan movie, like Logan dying.
Yeah.
Finally, they right off the bat, it's just the whole thing is just it's well done. But going all the way back, there's so many one-liners that I can't I can say, and you're gonna be like, well, yeah, but without the context of actually watching the movie, I give it. See, like 10 out of 10 is nearly impossible to me. Not even Endgame. I give Endgame like a 9.8 out of 10. 10 is like I don't even know if I know it, but I would give it a solid 8.0 out of 10. Not that I'm anybody of importance in movie going, but as far as in my brain, fantastical mind, solid 8 out of 10. It was fucking good. I was afraid that. Because I saw a couple posts online, people were like, "Oh, this was incredible! It was like Endgame." I'm like, as soon as I hear that comparison, to me, I'm like, I'll be the judge of that.
So I gotta ask, the one line you see in the TikTok trailer, whatever, YouTube short, when he goes out of his apartment or whatever, and the time police are there or something like that.
Oh, the TVA.
Yeah. And they.
Bacon's not new for me. But it is for Disney.
Yes!
Yeah, sir.
I saw that in the trailer.
But the reference to Disney is, there's like a few of them in there. Not even reference, just blatant calling Disney out in a positive and negative manner. He does. There's, I can't tell you like the lines are like just good. Yeah, they're just good. He makes one reference. This isn't really giving anything away. But as soon as you hear it, you be like, oh yeah, because we've talked about a whole shit ton. A bunch of people have. And he sees Logan and he's like, yeah, this is like the. Oh yeah, welcome. This is the Disney Marvel Cinematic. You've hit kind of a low point, There's the Endgame thing, and then a bunch of nonsense, but that's a whole other story. Something along those lines. I'm like, yeah, that's probably one of the reasons why Ron Reynolds was like, no, I'm doing this. Why he was in a battle at Disney.
Oh my god!
Because there's some references in there. But then, like in retrospect, thinking about it now, there were some of the other positive things. It was like, listen, I'm keeping this in, but I'll say this. It was kind of a compromise.
I'll throw you a bone if you leave me alone. Yeah.
And the Bones will say, which is a whole reference to something else too, but we'll say that it's not jarring in the movie. So it was fair. And I think he worked hard to kind of throw them a few bones and not make it kind of like, the brake squeal. You're like, wait a minute. Yeah. It's well done. Good. And you can tell that Ryan Reynolds had his hand in it.
Good.
So it was good though. Yeah, it was good. It sucks that you didn't see it because I can't talk about a whole fucking laundry list of shit that was in it. But it was good. What, did you run into a building?
No,
You got burning baby all over you now?
I got burning baby over me. Come on, I got the burning baby. No, I tripped going up my stairs and I missed a step and I give myself whiplash.
Welcome to 40, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not there yet. There's this guy. Till tomorrow. Today, when you see this. You are 40 today. Tomorrow.
Happy birthday tomorrow today to me. And not for a few months for you.
A very merry on birthday for me.
You young whippersnappers.
A very merry on birthday to me. Not to you.
Hey, class of 2003. You're looking fucking old.
They are, not me.
I'm talking to you. You specifically.
We're not old. We don't look old. You look older than us.
Old as shit. You look like a wreck. Listen. Lift heavy thing. Make sad voice go away. Anyway.
Alcohol will do that too. It'll make the sad voices go away. Why do you think we were so happy in high school? We were drunk all the time. Where's the flaw in that logic?
Well, let's see. I don't know. Let's take a look at something.
Too late. 3 seconds. It's going to come up with a solid answer. I win.
I didn't have anything prepared. I like it. Oh, jeez.
You have 3 seconds to say a valid argument. Why is rape bad? 1, 2. Because it's not good. See, I got it in 3 seconds.